Hello again, it's Micah G, and I just want to take some time today to talk about the state of the NBA TopShot market, what I think is causing the market decline that's currently occurring, some real legitimate issues that are bad for this market in general, and how I see them being able to turn around. So we'll start with the negatives, and then we'll move on to the more positive notes of how we're going to fix this, or how TopShot is going to fix this. So starting out, I made a little PowerPoint today, which is NBA TopShot a dumpster fire? And the first thing is, let's breathe a little, quit freaking out, quit checking your evaluate market, and let's just talk a little bit objectively about what is causing this downturn. So let's start off with, let's do the 6 reasons the market is tanking, why it's a dumpster fire right now. And number 1 is a withdrawal timeline. So this is just a blog post they just put out. And if you look at it, it says, currently we estimate most accounts will have withdrawal enabled within 6 to 8 weeks. And then most withdrawals are processed within 21 days, but others may take 40 days or more. So at the time of this video, because this is a blog post from 2 days ago, maybe a day ago. At the time of this video, if you put money in today, you can expect to not be able to get it out for upwards of 3 months. And that is going to be very scary for new money coming in. Right? There's a lot of places you can put your money right now, a lot of exciting projects. And this project is saying we're going to trap your money. Even if the day after you deposit it, you're like, never mind, we're going to trap your money for 3 months. So that's very scary. And that obviously causes the market to go down because you need new money coming in. There's a 5% fee on every single transaction that Dapper takes. So that pool of existing money continues to shrink without new money being injected in. So this is a very obvious weight on the market right now. And there are a lot of people that are bringing this up online. It is not hard to make a little compilation of people complaining about withdrawal requests on NBA TopShot. And this Dom DeLeo guy makes a great point, right? In what world does TopShot / Dapper operate in? What's the point of being a blockchain company if it takes over 3 months to move money around? So all that stuff currently looks really bad for NBA TopShot. It keeps new money from coming in because people are not going to dump their money somewhere where it's going to be tied up and impossible to access. That is currently part of the reason why prices are down. This very bad image that NBA TopShot is going to grab your money, never let it go. So this is one reason the market's down. The next reason is original users, people who are here when you could buy LeBron James for $30, right? Those people are taking profits. And it is completely understandable that they're doing that because, as I mentioned here, it's impossible not to brag when your video clips became worth thousands. Most people like me had invested in a lot of stupid projects that basically lit your money on fire. I've been involved in plenty of NFT games or crypto gaming, just all sorts of little projects that never pan out. And so the one time it's panned out, of course I've been telling everyone I know how cool it is that I, have these video clips that I can sell. And, I've tried to get people actually involved and excited about TopShot. But even if it's just talking about the money, it's hard to keep that a secret. And so when things are getting a little shaky, it's understandable that these original players who might have wives or girlfriends that are saying, hey, where's that money? All seems kind of fake to me, that they're going to want to make sure no matter what happens, they have some money locked in so that this is a good story and not a tragic one. So I think this is perfectly acceptable. It is a natural, healthy thing that these original users that made the right call to get involved, that they have a chance to cash some of that out. And in a healthy, growing market, you're going to have new money that takes over what they're selling, right? That buys what they're selling. But this combined with that first thing, that new money is very scared to go into TopShot, this is another thing that's depressing the market. These people are trying to offload their moments, ensure that they get some sort of profit out of this endeavor, no matter what happens. And there's not new money buying it because of these market pressures. And then the third thing is the wrong people getting packs. And I had seen a video from a guy, I think it's like Northeast Ohio Sports Cards. I watched a video from him where he talked about NBA TopShot. And he was complaining about the withdrawal process. So I think his Twitter post might even be on that first one that I talked about. Yeah, it's right there at the top. The NBA TopShot withdrawal process is a joke. So that guy talked a little bit about NBA TopShot. And he described himself exactly as I imagine the wrong people for this product are, which is he will get in line for packs, he'll buy packs, he'll immediately sell all of the moments, and he's just waiting to cash out. And I have nothing against this guy. He makes great content. But for NBA TopShot, that is the most toxic, useless user you can possibly have. That person getting a pack does nothing but remove money from the marketplace. Because as you can see here, let's say you get a base pack or you get a Scene Stars pack. Scene Stars pack costs $14. He spends $14, and all of that $14 goes to Dapper. None of it goes in the marketplace. And then let's say he lists his Scene Star, this Jaylen Brown over here, going for $154. The person who's buying that Jaylen Brown is probably using Dapper credit. So it's not like they injected $154 into the market to buy this Jaylen Brown. It's probably already money that's floating around in the marketplace. And what he's doing is he's turning the $14 he paid Dapper into taking $154 out of the TopShot marketplace. That money never makes it back into the marketplace because he doesn't believe in the product. And so the fact that that user is able to get easy access to these packs, it doesn't do anything for NBA TopShot. It is nothing but a leech on the NBA TopShot product because this person doesn't actually believe in the product. They just, sure, if Dapper will let them get in line and Dapper will let them check out, buy a pack, and immediately sell for a profit, they're going to do it every time. They don't have to like the product. And so I don't fault those users, but from an NBA TopShot ecosystem, they are nothing but a negative to the overall infrastructure because somebody would have bought that pack if it wasn't them. It's not like they're buying a pack that otherwise would have sat there. But what they are doing is they're removing money from the marketplace from whoever buys that moment. And people like that end up listing the moment for a really low budget price because they're just trying to get anything. They're just trying to get some money and get out. And so they actually also end up depressing the value or the perceived value of the moments because they just fire sale them, which then in turn makes the moment look like no one wants it because it got into the wrong user's hand, and that user doesn't want it because they don't believe in the underlying product. So that is the person that you don't want getting packs. And I think TopShot has been cocky, thinking once I let that person open a few packs, they'll see the underlying value and they'll stick around. And I just don't think that's the case. I think TopShot needs to be realistic that there are going to be people who are skeptical. And if you don't charge them an entry fee to get them actually invested, if you don't actually force them to invest, they're just going to be leeches on the system because there's no need for them to invest. There's no need to put your own money up if it's all kind of free. So I think this user, of course, is bringing prices down because they don't believe in the underlying product. And so when they get packs, they just fire sale everything. Then rookie badges is another thing. I think for some people, they thought of this as a savior moment that they could put on their calendar and say, when rookie badges come out, when these badges come out, everything will shoot up to the moon. We'll all be eating caviar. And in reality, by the time the rookie badges were released, the market was already pretty fragile. And most of the people that were waiting for that day were sellers, not buyers, right? There was nobody on rookie badge release day that was saying, this is the time I need to go buy rookies. But there were tons of people who had been thinking about selling or were nervous that just said, I'm just going to hang on until rookie badge release day. And that's when I'll offload because that'll be my best profit. But then everyone was trying to do that. and right, as more people sold, that freaked more people out. Prices started to plummet. People who had thought they were being cute and had bought rookies right beforehand, thinking, oh, I can flip them when badges come out. Right, those people just got, destroyed price-wise on this. So I think that disappointment is lingering a little bit, and people are scared to get back in, because I think people that thought they were being smart, waiting to flip till rookie badge day, didn't realize, they didn't have many buyers, and everyone else had the same idea they did. So I think that letdown is weighing on the market. And then, kind of on that note, there's this perception, I think it's pervasive right now, that NBA TopShot has run out of gas. That NBA TopShot has had all of these new shiny packs, new pack drops, the new badges. There's all these things coming out every week that they're just trying to have cause some sort of market uptick. And it just kind of feels like they're performing CPR. And when they drop one of these things, the market jumps for a second and then immediately goes back to dying. And so I think there's just this idea that, well, none of this stuff is working. Maybe it's time to bail. Obviously, they're running out of steam. And so I think there's a lot of fear. There's a lot of people saying, is the music stopping? This is musical chairs, and I'm going to get stuck holding the bag. And so that fear is here right now, right? Especially as related to that rookie moments. People thought that would be a moment. Everything just shoots back up, and all the badges save everything. And they didn't. They're a cool feature. They have some long-term viability, but they themselves are not going to jumpstart this market. And so I think that's scaring people. And then lastly, is this dilution from other projects. NBA TopShot is now the known quantity, and the days when you can get 100x your money are over. And that's hard for a lot of people, right? We remember how exciting it was early January to February, watching your account value skyrocket, watching things that you bought for $20 suddenly going for $1,000. That was a really exciting time. And so people realizing that NBA TopShot is now a known quantity, there's not going to be crazy deals to be had. Now NBA TopShot is, you got to be in it for the long run, right? You got to be making smart flipping decisions. You got to be waiting for the right timing, the market. It's not as simple as buy a bunch of things, everyone else discovers it, you make tons of money. And so people are chasing after the next NBA TopShot, the next thing that they can be the first one into that will suddenly 100x their money. So all of that speculative buying is moving to other projects that are less developed. And that's okay, right? But that is exactly why some of these purchases, right, some of the more speculative purchases or people dumping a bunch of money into NBA TopShot, I think those people realize NBA TopShot gains are no longer going to be just given to you. This is now a more mature product where things are not going to 100x overnight. And so they're looking to other games to fulfill that sort of crazy excitement. They're looking to other projects that haven't been discovered or aren't as big because they're trying to be the first person into that project. So I think that is another thing that is depressing pricing in NBA TopShot. But on the positive side, Now that we have these 6 very real issues, things that are weighing on the market, things that we understand, right? This makes sense. And it's okay. Because what we can talk about next, after we all just take a nice big deep breath, it's going to be okay. We can talk about why each one of these things is going to get better. So let's start with withdrawals. The first great thing, perception can't get any worse. If you look on Twitter, you look all these different places where people are complaining, everyone is complaining about withdrawals. And the team knows that. Every single time they have an office hours or anything, they talk about withdrawals. Because they get that everyone is stressed out about this right now. And I think they get that that is stopping new money from coming in. These fears about withdrawals are stopping new money. So they've made it pretty clear that's a priority, is they're trying to get everyone withdrawals. Now, I don't have withdrawals, and I'm KYC'd from mid-January. So I'm as pissed as any of you out there are. But the second that they give me withdrawals, that problem's going to go away. I'm not going to be mad about withdrawals, theoretically. The second I have withdrawals, I'm going to move on to something else. I'm not going to complain about it. I'm just mad because I don't have it right now. So every single day that their support team adds more people to withdrawals, they're killing those angry tweets. They're making sure that no more of them are sent. And so I think it's at rock bottom right now. And with every day that their support team works, there's going to be more and more happy tweets about people getting access to withdrawals. And I think that can have a snowball effect where once public sentiment changes, new money starts coming in, more people are making money, more people are getting access to withdrawals, people are posting the things they bought with their TopShot withdrawals, and suddenly you have much more positive sentiment around NBA TopShot. And I think you're going to have most of the money that could be withdrawn exists in original accounts, right? Most of the people that made a ton of money are people, OGs, people that were here October, June 2020, right? These original people that bought all this stuff, they're the ones that have all the Dapper balance, or they're the ones that have the potential to get a lot of Dapper balance. And I just don't see a ton of them. If sentiment starts to turn positively, they're not going to leave. So when those positive sentiments that, hey, you actually can get your money out, or hey, it's getting faster, I think new money is going to pour in a lot more than people are actually going to take advantage of withdrawal. On my side, I do want withdrawal, but I'm more upset that I don't have it rather than that I feel I need to get my money out. And so the actual money that makes it out of the system, where people say, you know what, I don't believe in TopShot anymore, I'm going to move my money out, I think that number is not going to be that high, right? It's not going to be that problematic. And if that sentiment goes positive, new money is going to pour in a lot faster. So this is their number one concern. This needs to be fixed. But once it is fixed, it just kind of goes away, right? Once somebody has withdrawal, they're never going to talk about it again. They're never going to complain. They're never going to angry tweet. Once that system is smoothed out, we never have to talk about it again. So I think it's a short-term pain. But once they figure it out, it's going to go away. It's going to be okay. Second one is OG users cashing out. So this is going to continue happening. But you just have to know that the original users, and I'm not like an OG user. I'm from like December 29th, I think is my account. And then I just bought a ton of stuff. I bought everything I could. I just thought it was a cool product and I just wanted to get involved. So I bought it and I fully expected every penny I put in, I was just lighting on fire. And so when it took off, I'm wanting to take out money to be able to show those around me, hey, I succeeded at this. Hey, I made the right calls. Look at how cool that is that I got some money out of this. But it's going to be really hard for me to fully withdraw all my money because I still want to be involved in the product. I still want to see hardcourt come out. I want to see baller status become something cool and involve challenges and achievements. There's a bunch of stuff with this product that I still want to stick around for. And I don't want to stick around with no cool moments. I don't want to stick around and be, just a newbie with a bunch of commons. I want to have cool moments. And so I'm playing with house money. I've withdrawn, or I will be withdrawing enough that I feel successful in this endeavor, but I'm not going to fully withdraw. And so what I've put up is my account value as of right now, which is, it's tanked, but this is after I've sold off enough moments to have enough dapper balance to feel comfortable. So I'm not divested from this product. I have a lot of money invested in moments. And I don't think I'm the exception to that rule. I think original people should be pulling out enough money to make this feel financially successful. Make sure that you've paid yourself back for what you put into the product. But from then on, I think that original users are going to stick with this for a lot longer than newer users, right? People that are not quite as invested because original users got into this because they loved the product. And that makes them a more hardy investor, someone who's going to stick around, someone who's not going to, panic sell their moments at the first dip. So this doesn't worry me that much. And then this one where the user that wants nothing to do with the product, doesn't believe in the product at all, is getting positive EV, positive expected value packs. I think that's going to stop really soon. I think TopShot understands that they were a little too cocky, thinking they could win those sorts of users over. And I think pretty soon they're just going to go tell that sort of user to go kick rocks, right? to go F themselves, because they don't do anything for the product. You would much rather a collector get the pack because they're not going to fire sale it. They're not going to make it look bad. And if they do get money from the underlying items, they're probably going to invest it back into TopShot. So, Roham sent out this tweet that is about, hey, engage in the marketplace. That's a big part of this. That can be super fun. It's kind of the skill-based thing to do here. And they say, you'll see us play with different ways to make the marketplace more accessible for new users in the coming weeks/months. I think the subtext of that tweet is, new users are going to be using the marketplace because this idea of just using packs, just getting packs, just selling them, never engaging in the buying and selling or the using your own money, that's over, right? I think if you aren't, and this is just me, but if you aren't willing to share in the risk, right? When we put money in initially, I fully expected to lose all of it. And so when I was rewarded, it was because I had risked my own money. So now, if you want to potentially have the rewards of TopShot, I think TopShot is going to say, you do need to be risking something. You do need to actually have some skin in the game. And there's a bunch of ways they can do that, and I think they're going to start pulling the trigger on that. And then the rookie badge letdown. I think people are thinking way too short-sighted on this. Yes, and I kicked myself a little bit because, it made perfect sense. Everyone was thinking of selling at that time. So I probably should have been offloading more rookies before the badges. And I didn't. I just kind of held. I didn't buy rookies for this. I wasn't really sure what the price action was going to be. Because really a lot of it depended on how many people knew about rookie badges, right? If a bunch of the population didn't know about them, they might panic and buy on the day of. So there was expectations it could have gone either way. But I don't think it's gonna be a benefit in the long term, because on the marketplace, when you look at a moment with a badge and you look at a moment without, it's such a stark contrast. It's hard not to want to buy the one that has a shiny badge over the one that doesn't. And so some of it though is, I think, well, first off, I don't like the triple badges because the triple badges just look like one badge. So that Killian Hayes versus that Zion Williamson that I have in the picture, it looks like Killian Hayes has 2 badges, when in reality he has 4. But they just scrunched them all into that one ticket-looking one. So I think that was a dumb move. I think maybe they need to fix that or do something to better differentiate triple, 3 badge rookies. Because right now it's almost better to have just 2 of the rookie badges, so you get 3 full badges instead of a weird shitty 3-for-1 badge. But I think the real value from this is those first moments, because since it's only a 2-year-old product, anyone who had a rookie earlier, so stuff like Luka, Trey, the hobby is going to have to pick a rookie moment or the equivalent of a rookie moment. And I think that badge is the differentiator. I'm probably going to make a more in-depth video about this and how you could go about investing in it. But I just think long-term, that blue TopShot badge is going to be sort of a rookie badge. And I'll probably make a separate video. Comment if you think that's a good idea to just go into this concept more. But I just think there is some long-term plays related to badges and long-term value to badges when it comes to getting your moment sold. But yeah, the day that they came out, it just wasn't, the market forces were against you. And that's okay. So the TopShot out of gas thing, like this is just, there's so many potential things they can do to make this a cool product, to make this a cooler product. Right now, the utility of moments is almost non-existent, right? And even with non-existent utility, just the idea of what they could do or could try just generates so much value. So if you go through it, it's like they could pull levers to force you to have more moments by just saying, well, you can't buy a pack. You can't buy a pack if you don't have more than 10 moments. We saw them do that with a 3-moment limit. And all of a sudden, like that day, the marketplace just skyrocketed in terms of moments bought, because people just want, there's a type of collector that, or not a type of collector, but a type of user of TopShot that will just do the bare minimum necessary to get packs. So if TopShot wants to reward collectors or people that buy a bunch of moments, they can just pull the lever of, cool, we'll just basically force the people that want packs to buy your moments. So that's an easy lever. Then challenges, right? You could do different things with different challenges, make challenges more useful. They've been floating around ideas of like you can't enter a pack drop without having done a challenge, or extra value to challenges. There's just a bunch of stuff you could do with challenges. And then hardcourt is like a huge question mark. But if you read that quote at the bottom, basically they're trying to do an NBA Jam style game, which like an NBA Jam style game where you can use some moments to like upgrade other moments. Like you can almost like equip some of your moments onto another moment to make it like a super player. It sounds like this is an old interview, so who knows what it actually becomes. But if it ends up being good, like it would be insane, right? It'd be, the FIFA soccer cards, right? The little soccer packs is billions upon billions of dollars a year. And those things get deleted or rendered obsolete every single year. People still buy tons of packs. So the idea that you would have a blockchain item that could be used in a legit video game, if it becomes that, is multiple billions of dollars worth of value just on that, just on the utility in the game. So that's a huge one. Then real life perks they've discussed, like if you're a certain level of TopShot person and you go to an in-person game, you get perks, right? I don't know. You can do tons of stuff with that, right? But this is an NBA. This is tied in with the NBA and the Players Association. So they do have levers to pull relating to rewarding collectors. And then new currencies related to behaviors is one that I've thought about, is like, well, what if when you finish a challenge, you get the challenge moment, But then you also get, I'm a huge MMORPG guy, so I'm just going to go with gold. But, you would call it something baller points. I don't know. But basically, if there's a thing that as you do positive behaviors, whether Dapper wants or TopShot wants to reward, like you buy in the marketplace, you get 10 of these credits. You complete a challenge, you get 1,000 of these credits. You do some achievements related to baller status, you get 1,000 more of these credits. You get these credits that you can use to buy things. And I'm thinking it's stuff like priority pack queue or, right, cool cosmetic stuff related to the hardcore game, right? You can basically drive the behavior you want. You want people to engage in the marketplace, offer them a perk for doing so. And then they've talked about burning moments. So the ability to burn moments to get better spots in pack queues. So all of those levers of just making more utility for the moments, making more benefits to collectors, are things that they've barely started to scratch. I think they need to make baller status an entire achievement section, where you get baller status for collecting a moment for each team. You get a baller status for collecting 10 Spurs moments, 10 steals, 10 blocks. You get baller status for creating 10 showcases. You could make showcase competitions where, collectors pay $1 and then 2 collectors put showcases up against each other and the winner gets the pot, right? It's like battling showcases. The public votes on them. Winner gets the pot. There's just all sorts of things they could do. So I don't feel like they're anywhere near out of gas. Whether or not they execute on those things, whether or not hardcore ends up being a good game, there's a bunch of question marks. But saying that they're running out of ideas or that they're there's a lack of potential utility for these moments is just crazy. And then lastly, so attention getting pulled away. That's scary, right? People are flooding onto the next big thing. Maybe TopShot is just the old, obsolete blockbuster of NFTs. But there's so many positive things going for NBA TopShot. First off, you have NBA behind you. And since the NBA has shared in the revenues, obviously they have a stake in keeping it alive, because they've seen that it actually does provide them with revenues, right? They have revenue sharing on this stuff, so they're actively going to be involved in keeping it alive. And then the first mover advantage. TopShot has made so much money from pack drops, from 5% market fees. They've gotten a massive influx of cash very quickly. What that means is they can survive for longer. So unlike these other new projects, they actually have the ability to weather storms without going bankrupt. So there's going to be a lot of projects that maybe rode the TopShot wave of hype to getting some users to spend money, but whether or not those products are going to be able to actually build out enough infrastructure to keep those people, or whether or not they're actually going to be able to deliver on the promises they gave, that's another thing. As the first mover, TopShot got the majority of that excitement, that hype money. They built up a very large war chest. They are able to hire developers. They're able to hire support staff. They're able to survive for longer. And no doubt if NBA TopShot had to do a funding or something, they are a big enough thing right now that they're going to attract attention. But if you get involved in one of these other small projects and things stagnate, that project might not survive and your stuff is useless. So I think there's other projects that are exciting and it's fun to be able to try to be the first person into a project, whereas NBA TopShot is now the known quantity. But there's also a bunch of downside. And I think if enough of those things start to go belly up, people will flood back into NBA TopShot for the security, because the excitement can also be a negative, right? If something's exciting, it's because it could go to 0 or it could go to 1 million, right? NBA TopShot is the known quantity right now. So this just doesn't scare me that much. I think people need to get burned on some things, and this flood of NFTs needs to be, maybe sobered up a little bit. But I think NBA TopShot might be in a very good position to be one of the survivors if things are generally going south. And that's kind of like the crypto boom, right? Bitcoin starts to take off. A bunch of cryptocurrencies just pop up out of nowhere, and then a bunch of people can get burned on those cryptocurrencies. But those first movers, right, are able to survive through that when others can't. So I see NBA TopShot being able to survive through these downturns in a way that other projects can't. And that is going to allow them to consolidate the money back, right? Get users back who got burned on these other projects. So in summary, you can relax. If you have extra Dapper balance, consolidate into stars, or try to focus on actual collector value items. Because NBA TopShot is not going to be as speculative in the future. People are going to be more cautious. People are going to be smarter investors. It's now a known quantity. People know about this. They know what sells. They know what doesn't. There's going to be enough history, right? Market history to be able to go off who's good and who's not. So I just think that you have to become smarter with the market. People are not going to be blindly buying your legendary Cedi Osman. They're not going to be blindly buying Josh Jacksons or whoever else, right? These are going to become savvier investors who gravitate towards hot rookies, gravitate towards superstars. Those are the people that are going to hold value. And when prices go up or when new money is coming in, it's not going to just be spread across every moment. It is probably going to almost exclusively go into the actual good stuff. So just make sure you're holding the good stuff. And kind of on that note, have more fun. And in the context of TopShot, I mean engage with the product more to understand it, to appreciate what you are owning, to appreciate what you're buying. And I promise you that will help you be better at differentiating what is a good moment, what is a good thing to own, and what is not. I think speculating and that phase of just let me just buy up anything and some other sucker will come in and buy it for more, I think that's going to get harder and harder the more mature this product becomes, which is crazy to say, right? It's a few months old or under a year, way under a year old. But in this NFT timeline, people are starting to understand how it works. So you have to just be more discerning. You have to be smarter about finding the cool plays, finding the cool players, starting to think about who would you want on your hardcore team, who is actually going to be fun to play with if it's actually like an NBA Jam style game. So I think all of this is about use this time when, sure, some of your stuff is just gotten destroyed in pricing, but use that as a chance, because everything has gotten destroyed in pricing. Use it as a chance to buy at a discount and do cool stuff. So I think there's a lot of moments that you just got to say, look, I made a bad call. I need to get out of this moment and I need to go find cool stuff. I need to go find cool moments to pour my money into, because that's going to be the stuff that lasts. And so I think there's not going to be a better time. I don't think people are going to blindly be throwing money at all players from here on out. Even if the market suddenly starts picking up, I don't think it's going to be an even recovery. People are going to gravitate towards the superstars, the fun rookies, the exciting stuff that has upside. And that's where you need to take your portfolio. And then lastly, trust the process, right? We are still early in this in some ways. I don't think we're early in it in terms of user growth, but I think we are early in terms of what the product can be. And although a lot of people are aware of this product, I think there's still a bunch of skepticism. And if this can survive long enough that it becomes an established thing, people are going to fear that they are missing out on profits. And so I think money is going to flood back in. People are not going to want to be left behind on this cultural bandwagon. And I think there's a lot of potential to make money still. But you have to be believing in the actual product. And I think NBA TopShot is going to start rewarding people that are their active users. And so you have to be ready to be a part of that if you really want to, continue with this product. So all that stuff, I know it's tough. I know it's scary. If you are playing with money that you can't afford to lose, then yeah, you do need to consider pulling some of it out, or pulling out whatever you can afford, or whatever, you can't afford to lose. But just realize, it's not all doom and gloom. There's a bunch of ways back to this being a super profitable venture. You just gotta be smart about it. So I hope that helps. I hope that at least gives you something to think about or something to discuss. If you like the video, feel free to subscribe to my channel, like the video, all the YouTube stuff. And I'll catch you in the next one. Have a great day.